What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Streaming On podcast. My name is Gray.
And I'm Blue.
Welcome, everybody, to the May 2002 edition of Streaming On. Look at the background, Blue.
I know. It's the biggest event we had during the month of May. You want to explain what you and I went through?
Yeah, we got a really bad cold for the last 2 weeks. So all the 2 weeks that we were on, we had a lot of plans that week, but it's gone. The cold, Aka, vid, the COVID.
Yeah.
We got COVID.
Yeah, we got COVID.
It was...
It was like just, I mean, it wasn't even like, it was just like an unfortunate situation where it's just, Gray had like a job. He went on a Sunday and then someone there had it. They didn't know. Sound like,
nobody knows. Maybe,
no one knows.
Maybe so. I brought it. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but
yeah.
But
like you
space,
and all
a
those,
lot of people got it.
So you guys all got it on that Sunday that you guys were all working, and then
I brought it home.
You brought it home.
Yep.
So.
And Blue got sick probably 3 or 4, like 2 days after I started getting symptoms. So yeah, that was definitely. I think highlight is the wrong way to put it, but it's definitely because we've never gotten it before. It's our first time. Some the bad things are obviously the things that are happening to our body. It just feels really bad. But I was really surprised at how good the government was kind of like trying to take care of us.
Take care of you. Like we got we got 2 huge packages and a package of water. Like it was like big bottles.
2-liter bottles.
Yeah. And the package, like the food package they gave us had like a huge, like a bunch of variety of stuff too. Like they had like instant ramen. They had pasta. They had like the microwavable curry, beef stew.
We still have some left.
Yeah, we do. It's not. They even give us like Jello, canned fruit, all that stuff. So.
Yeah, super impressive. But with symptoms wise, I was just getting really drowsy. I of course had a fever. I couldn't stop coughing. It was really weird because like my throat was super dry, but then I would cough. So then it would hurt to cough, but I didn't have any like mucus or anything. I didn't have anything. It was completely dried out. So it just felt like it was scratching at my throat every single time I cough. That was really painful. Also the medical bill that I had for that was under insurance, first of all, obviously health insurance. So the bill itself was super cheap. Plus, they gave me a ton of meds.
Yeah.
For all the symptoms,
you
got the
headache.
So much.
Yeah.
Like if your limbs start hurting or like your body aches, coughing, fever, everything. They just gave me like a huge bag of meds, all free. It wasn't part of the bill or anything. Like even if it
covered like all the symptoms of COVID.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they didn't know what you were gonna get, right? So they just gave you like the whole batch and be like, here. There's medicine for any of the symptoms you get.
And then normally when you get meds, you have you go inside to the place and then you're like, okay, so this is what I need, and then you sit outside and then the people will bring it to you.
You go to like a separate pharmacy, right?
Yeah, a different pharmacy, and then you kind of they give you the meds, but this time I had to sit outside.
Oh, like outside.
They give you a call, and they said because the hospital will they'll be like, okay, which pharmacy you're gonna go to, and I was like, I'm gonna go to this one. They call that pharmacy, let them know what's going on, which pills to bring, and then they give you your personal information, right? And then they say, don't go in. They're gonna have a seat outside for you, so you're gonna sit outside, and then they'll bring it to you. And I was like, okay, because you don't want to go inside and affect the people inside.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting outside this like wooden stool outside, waiting for my med, and then someone comes out with one of those like N95
N95
masks, and they're just like, here, go, kind of thing. And then so it was very different experience.
Well,
but
they didn't have it like balancing on some like really long pole.
No, they came with it was a drone. A drone brought it. But all in all, symptoms weren't too bad compared to what I've heard, like some of the horror stories and stuff. Like we were streaming. I did like a TTS stream where dude, I was dead that time, but I was like I had like one of those like fever like shippu things on my forehead with like a hoodie, and I was just like, and I couldn't talk right because my throat was dead. So then it would just be like me typing, and then it would be me
Yeah.
typing on the keyboard, and then it would like speak. And then I realized that to when I stream on my PC, I turned the setting off after that because I felt like it's okay if my streams get muted, and I didn't want something like what happened that
Right.
time to happen. Is that to not get muted for the VOD? I take off all the sound that I get from the desktop, which would be like music, which would be like game music, VC, and of course in this case PTS.
So it's just text.
So that VOD is just text and silence. It's a very peculiar VOD, in its own way. There's no sound, so it's just, and I can't, and I have a mask on too, so like I can't make any facial expressions.
Yeah.
Only when I like laugh, so I'm just really really eerie. It looks like one of those like really weird YouTube videos that you watch that you come across at like 2 a.m. Like it's just a peculiar time because like there's people talking, but there's just like chat
No
is moving,
sound.
and there's just no sound. It was a really weird VOD, but
I think
after
it's like a
10 days, I was good to go.
yeah. And then afterwards, yeah, I got it, and then my symptoms weren't that bad either. Like I think my biggest one was like body aches. I had really bad body aches, and Gray didn't have that. My throat was
Mine came
like,
later.
yeah, mine was like I just got it like the first day, and I just felt like I thought like I slept funny at first, but it was like no, this is like way too weird. It's not just my hips that are hurting, like it's everything. So, and then other than that, it's like same symptoms like throat. Your voice doesn't work. Headache, fever, all that stuff. So it wasn't too bad. Thankfully.
It feels like you had it a little worse than I did towards the end, but it was
Yeah.
only like 2 or 3 days,
Yeah.
and then the fever just wouldn't go away for a bit, but then after that, I think it got better. But
Yeah, I'm just glad it wasn't like a month-long thing, right? Or like if both of us had really high fever. So I'm glad both of us just had like middle.
Last month we talked about how we had like family stuff, and because of that we didn't stream, and how that kind of affects the mind of somebody that's on schedule for streaming every day. And we had to cancel streams, obviously, and even if we could stream, they'd be like hour long, like I said, like these random
Really short
TTS
ones.
streams. Did that affect your mind at all? Like or were you too busy being sick?
I mean, yeah, because it's like, oh my god, we have to cancel again. It's like I thought, we were back on schedule, and then we both get sick, and it's like, well, there goes our schedule again. So it did feel a little weird.
It was weird, right?
I mean, I don't even know if weird is the right word choice, but it was a little. I mean, it was really unfortunate, I guess, timing wise, because we just had a month full of like my mom visiting, and then having to cancel streams, and then all of a sudden we both got sick, and then because like when I had to cancel for my mom, like you were able to stream like for me on some days you did stream on the days I couldn't stream and stuff.
Yeah,
But this time we were both dead.
that's what I didn't like. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like, we can cover for each other, or we couldn't be like, hey, so here's an update on how Gray's doing. Like, I'm fine, but he's over here, like, dying on the couch. Like, you can't update people because both of us, we can't talk. Like, it was probably the quietest apartment ever. Like, we were both, like, whispering to each other.
Yeah, we had to. That was our only way of
What do you want to eat?
communicating.
Can I have this Jello? Like, yeah. So it's just it was a really weird situation where we both couldn't stream. We both really couldn't do anything.
No, we couldn't.
It just really wasn't. We were just because both of our brains are fried too. So it's not like we could do like, oh hey, let's think about stream events. Like we can't even do that. It's just like, God, I feel terrible. Let's just I don't know, sleep.
And we were I think
So.
it was that day that my symptoms, or the day before my symptoms got bad, we were starting to think about things for the summer because we do a lot of events for the summer, and it's also like the anniversary kind of time, so we like to plan stuff then. So we got we were starting to plan stuff, and actually that day we were supposed to plan some stuff with somebody, and then we couldn't do it because we got, I started feeling sick and shit. So
Mm-hmm.
it was just the timing was so bad. But I was looking at our calendar, and you had a lot of stuff that week too.
Yeah.
Me too, like
And we
personal
were both
events, like
booked. Like we both had a lot of things we were supposed
yeah.
to do.
For me, like a lot of it was like very personal stuff, just
Mm-hmm.
like getting to just like catch up with friends from high school, college and
No, you
stuff
have to
like that.
cancel all those.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm hopefully I can reschedule, but I want to be extra sure, so I'm not like, okay, I'm out, I'm gonna go,
Yeah. Right.
right away. But I was starting to feel um a lot better towards because it's a 10-day quarantine, but like
Mm-hmm.
around like day 7, I was feeling pretty good, and I called the doctor because they check in because every day they text you this my hearts thing where you tell the government like how you feel, like how's the temperature, and if anything goes wrong, that information gets relayed to your doctor and they call you, and then if they need to get an ambulance, they'll get you. If not, it's like a really really like it's super fast response. Like I was the first day, I didn't know how in depth I should answer these.
Mm-hmm.
So then so my fever went up and I started coughing and my
Yeah, I
breathing
remember that.
became a little hard. So then I on the first day when because I'm just trying to be as
Honest as possible,
honest as
right?
possible.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to like breeze this off in any way. I was like, I woke up and I was like, yeah, my fever went up. It says, did your fever go up? And I was like, yeah. And then it was like, did your breathing get really hard? Did it get harder to breathe? And I was like, yes, it did. Right. So, and then I sent in, and a lot of it changed from the first day that I went in, because the first day was just kind of like almost like a recovering cold, is what it
Mm-hmm.
felt like. I didn't even think I had it until I took the test. It was in the the PCR test. It was like because they were like at your symptom level and how much it's been. It's kind of hard to take a PCR test and get any results, and the antigen test is gonna be something you could do, but it's probably going to be unreliable. So you might want to come back for a PCR test, considering that you have like cold symptoms. I was like, oh, that's fine. Let's just do the antigen test. And so then she stuck that thing in my nose where you take that
Or they
stick.
scrape your brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they scrape my brain, right? The little bit of brain that I have left, they scraped it. And immediately she's like, she was in the middle of a conversation and she's like, but if this might not be the thing, blah 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 blah, and then they bring in the results like, oh, but COVID, you have COVID, never mind, ignore everything that I said, you have COVID. And so it's just like, it was just like, they didn't think I had it, but it's just that casual. But then so, anyways, I answered all the questions and then I immediately get a call from my doctor and they're like, are you okay? Have your symptoms gotten that bad? I was like, no, no, no. I mean, it got worse, but it's not that bad. And then they were like, oh, thank God. Like it's according to the records, it seemed like you were like starting to die. And I was just like, because everything got so much worse. And I was like, well, it didn't get that bad, but there's nothing. It's just a yes or no thing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I guess it was supposed to be if it was way more intense. But it's my first time getting COVID, so I just want to be
Yeah.
honest. Like, never done these things before. And they were like, yeah, the wording on that is really just like white or black kind of thing. Like, it's yes or no. So it's just like, there's no like gray zone in the middle. It's the way that it's worded. But and then they kind of like after that, I kind of knew like when to really,
Yeah.
But the point is like they're super fast. Like at
Response time. Yeah.
the response time is
Because
extremely fast.
if it's like I'm guessing like they were expecting like, oh, if you said your fever's getting bad and your breathing is getting bad, it means they're probably expecting you to be like, oh, I have a fever of like 40 plus.
Yeah, and
that's like really dangerous zone, like where you have to go to the hospital,
And
like
then-
you have to get IV and everything, and they have to monitor your breathing because you might, yeah.
Yeah, and then the,
Right,
the
so-
breathing one was like they thought you only put yes if it's like life threatening, and I was like, if
Does
it
it
was,
say anywhere?
dude, believe me, if it was life threatening, I would not be able to log on to this freaking app.
Yeah, you wouldn't be typing in the app. Oh,
Yeah.
I am dying, but yeah, it's getting worse. Like no.
She literally said like in Japanese, she was telling me like it's usually for people that feel like they're dying. Like, and I'm like, okay, I'm fine. Like I do feel shitty, but I don't think I'm okay. I think can stay alive. So they're like, yeah, but anyways, the response time is really fast. Is really good. Something that was was a very new experience, first time experience. Never want to do it again.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get a cold ever again. Like I don't want anything to, especially when you have plans. Like I don't want just like let me be. Like
especially since like you've never had the flu. I've
never had
the
it
flu,
before,
and
no.
I think the symptoms are very similar. So I kind of knew what I was expecting because like it's gonna be a fever. I'm gonna get a sore throat. I'm gonna feel like shit. But it was like the first time for you, so that must have been like, yeah,
I
not
was
a
like,
very
this
good
cold
experience.
is long. Like
Yeah.
it's lasting long. Like it was at the point where like I couldn't feel my fever anymore because I was getting used to it. But every single time I check, I would have a very abnormally high temperature.
Yeah.
So it was really weird. It was just a really weird experience. I hate it. I just don't want to feel out of my element as much. Well, I guess that's the same with everybody. But
It's like
yeah.
one of the things is like after you got it, I was worried that maybe I'm like, because I know I'm gonna get it. I wasn't sure if it was just me mentally like feeling symptoms or if I actually had symptoms.
Right.
Because there were a few days where I was like nauseous, and then my body ache started happening. But it was like, well, that's not really common symptoms. So you and I, we were both like, oh, it's probably just me, just mentally like thinking I'm sick because you're sick. And then I ended up catching it. But I remember, of course, like you should never look up symptoms on Google,
Right.
but I did because I looked up, like
'Cause
COVID
it tells
symptoms.
you have like I have
Yeah.
I have a little pain in my shoulder. Cancer.
Yeah.
You have cancer.
But I did look up like COVID symptoms, and nausea and body aches were listed on there. So it was like, oh, okay. So it is normal. It's just some people get those symptoms, some people don't. But one thing that did freak me out, and I just closed off the browser, threw my phone out the window, was like, it said something about like, oh, if you have a lower body temperature, you're at risk of like dying. It's like you have a higher risk of death, and it's like, oh, that's great. I'm not gonna look at this anymore. And
I swear Google search
I
results
know
just want to
it's
kill you.
terrible.
They want to diagnose you as like a zombie every
Yeah.
single time. Like, oh, this is like even with dogs too. It's like, wait, your dog swallowed a little thing of lint. It's gonna die. It's gonna get
suffocate.
stuck. It's gonna get stuck
Yeah.
in their intestines, and they're not gonna be able to digest it, and they're gonna die. And it's just like, go to the doctor now, or else they will die.
It's like it feels like that whole like,
Jesus.
like when you're a kid, and I don't know if like I had friends that were like, oh, if you swallow watermelon seeds, you have like watermelons start growing in your tummy.
Oh, yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing, right?
yeah,
And that
yeah,
used to freak me out, and that's what it feels like. It's the same thing.
Mhm.
And so you start doubting.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
wait, is
yeah.
that real? Am I really gonna have watermelon growing in my stomach? Like, yeah, that used to terrify me as a kid.
I mean, that being said, you should always be, careful. Like, if
Yeah.
anything, this taught us like just a cold could actually be COVID. So it's like, it's good to check, but it's like sometimes you want to stay away from the internet diagnosis. Sometimes the Google diagnosis because, and I always tell you like if you feel bad, just go to the doctor, and or if Anu's looking looking real abnormal, we'll check him out, go to the doctor and stuff like that. Or if we know something bad happened to him, like we know he ate something bad.
Well, I mean,
then,
even you're really nice enough. It's like, hey, if he'll make you feel better, we can take him. So
oh yeah, I mean,
even if you know that it's not a big deal, but if I'm freaking out, you're like, let's just take him so you feel better. It's like, okay.
Most of the times that's more important because it's if the owners don't feel good, then I feel like that's gonna stress out Anu too. So so anyways, we got COVID this month. And that knocked
was
out
the biggest thing.
That knocked out week and a half, which is pretty big. I realize you look at the calendar and it's like this two huge chunks. It's not exactly 2 weeks, but pretty much because we don't stream on Sundays and Thursdays. It just feels like a huge chunk of schedule gone.
Yeah.
It felt good to come back, but when you come back, you're still not like at 100%. So it's doesn't when COVID goes away, there's still these like lingering kind of
symptoms.
Yeah, and then we came back to what was it? We came back to Hitman, right?
Mhm.
And then we've been playing Hitman from one. It's pretty crazy because like it's kind of like One Piece where you play from 1 to 3. So we're actually playing 3 games right
Well, I
now.
mean, all the
All the
story
3
is all
games.
connected, so
Yeah.
it does feel like just one big game.
Yeah.
'Cause I think just one game, one Hitman's pretty short.
Although we don't like do the replayability stuff
Well,
where
yeah.
we go back and try and perfect, because there's so
Yeah.
much content in that
Yeah.
game. I think that's what that game is supposed to be. You go through it once and then you try to get,
That's definitely off stream game right there.
yeah, like
to
the
do
other
all
stuff.
the replays. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be really fun to do, like, or like an imp stream or something like that, like to just or like one of those impromptu streams to just kind of see what you can do and like explore more story missions, because we try to do as many as we can.
Yeah.
But you can't finish. And so like when we first started, we didn't even know about them, so we
I
were just
know.
aimlessly walking.
We missed out on the best one.
Yeah,
The runway.
the fashion show one.
I wanted him to strut and pose.
Yeah, we missed out. I don't even know how we beat that without the story missions.
No, we were just following that one guy around forever.
Yeah, but like, how are we supposed to kill him? Like, we have no idea. We're supposed to bop this guy, but
didn't we take out 2 chefs so we can clear that room? And we kept waiting for that guy to come back.
I mean, we were trying to get the SP guy that's following him the whole time, and there was like one like small chance of getting him, and we like miraculously got him without we didn't get caught. And then, sometimes it turns into like just like Apex Legends where we just start shooting at everything. That usually never goes well. But yeah, I think it's definitely a fun game, especially in split control.
God, it's hectic.
Yeah, because
it's really hectic.
You have to move pretty fast when things go south in that game, or else it's one of those like Metal Gear moments where like another person will come and find you through another guy, or like even if you kill somebody, someone's coming to get the body, you can still run away. You can still, if you're fast enough.
Yeah.
But there's so many options that are going to take out that guy, or if that guy dies in the hallway, there's a guy behind him that could like hide away from him and just get away from that whole situation. So there's so many ways to play the game, I think, and that's what's like kind of cool about it. But I'm definitely enjoying it. I think it's been like 5 streams. It's almost like an RPG game length of
I think it's still on the shorter side though.
Oh, you know what we did? We also did the viewer send-in.
Oh yeah, we did.
I love doing those.
Thank you again for everyone who sent those in.
Yeah, so for people that don't know, once in a while we have people send in whether an image or a video or something. We make a theme, and we just have a stream where we just kind of watch what the submissions that people send in. And a little bit over a year ago, we did one where everyone sent in their rooms or their setups, like their battle stations, and we checked it out on stream. And we were like, I think it's about time that we do it again. So we did a version 2 of that recently, and that was super fun. It was a
lot of fun
just to see everybody's setups, how different it is. Some people just like has boxes everywhere, or like questionable objects under their desks, but then some people have
ton of monitors.
Yeah, or some people are just like, you can tell there's like a workshop in there, or you can see the little fandoms, like people have like Hot Wheels on the wall or figurines. And it's always just a fun time, and it's only possible because people actually send in their stuff. It's all and
we saw some cute pets too.
We did
a fake cat.
A fake cat. That cat.
Doggies.
That cat. If you watch the VOD again, I think it's like towards the beginning. Like the cat is so pretty.
I know, it's so cute.
That it just looks like it's Photoshop. Like, and it's like a perfect cat that it just looks like it's photoshopped in there.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't look like a real cat. And I was just like, I swear to God, this is not a real cat. It just didn't look real to me. It was like Uncanny Valley, but with a cat. Uncatty Valley.
That's terrible.
How's that?
That was terrible.
No?
That was terrible. But I mean, I think it's something that we like doing a lot. So we definitely want to do more. Even this year, I wouldn't mind doing another one before the year's over, especially since it's still only May, right? Or it's almost June. But I really enjoyed the what's the weirdest thing in your house contest.
Such an ambiguous question, which makes it funny.
Yeah, so I really want to do that one again, especially since we have a lot more new people as well. So it would be fun to do one where everyone sends in a picture of the most random. It doesn't have to be weird. It's just like the most random thing in their house.
Because everybody always has something random.
Yeah,
That's where the idea came from. Where like when Blue went back to her place, like she would have just these like, whatever it is. It could be like a creepy picture or something. Like, why do you have that picture? Like you always have that when you go back home after a while, you realize
because my mom
have this. Like
my mom has a lot of traditional Japanese dolls that she got as like a family heirloom, or a lot of times like people gift them when you have kids, a lot too, or like for marriage and stuff like that. So she has a bunch of collections of like porcelain, like Japanese traditional dolls. They're not like the kid dolls that we like a lot of people would think of. They're like they're for decoration, like the hand painted faces with like they're just like works of art basically, but it's all sitting in the basement behind this curtain. It's like this it's like because my parents have this like basement, and for some reason when they moved in, this place had like a cutout in the wall, right, where it's like it's a shelf of things. I'm guessing like people had they were displaying something there too, but she decided to put dolls there. So it's just you open a curtain and there's just a bunch of dolls.
That's so scary. I mean, when I went,
Yeah.
I had like a full blown like samurai get up with a katana, like just in a random room. I had a random room growing up. I don't live. That's not. This is like my first house. It was this random. My house was 2 stories, right? And then you go from the first floor to the second floor, but in between this second floor and the first floor, there's a random tatami room that exists. Like
You
like,
didn't sleep there?
I did not sleep there.
Why
No.
didn't you?
It connects straight to like the outside. It's just
Oh.
this peculiar room where you open. That's actually where we had our first PC set up when our family bought our first PC because we didn't.
Oh.
We were
Yeah.
putting it in our rooms. It was just like a communal PC where I was playing that pinball game that the old Windows had, and it's so weird. Like you open it, my mom was like ironing in there, and then she just used that as like a place to just relax. And I think we had like a little like TV in there, but on the side there was this full blown armored guy, and I was just like, is that like something connected to like our family? Like, is that something that do we know that guy or something? And she was just, our parents were like, no, it's just one of those traditional things. And the room, all these rooms, like these old school tatami rooms, have spaces to display shit like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's like a stage for it, right? And I was like,
wait, so where is it now?
it's long gone, right? We've moved.
They got rid of it.
I think you
You didn't want it in our bedroom, looming over a bed.
Those things have a really peculiar old smell.
Yeah, they do.
Like, and that's like I attribute that to like my grandma's house smell. It has that weird tatami smell. Like tatami smells fine.
It's the moth, the lavender smell. It's like the mothballs.
I try to wear it as a kid because I wanted to wear it. Like, because
isn't it super heavy?
It's tiny, but so when as like a Halloween costume, I tried to wear it. It was so heavy and it was so itchy and gross, and I was just like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I think there's a picture somewhere of me wearing it in like if I go back and if I look at like the photo albums. But yeah, I had did I not have I didn't have a one peculiar thing, but I had a peculiar room. And that room keeps reoccurring in my dreams for some reason.
It's calling to you. I think we have to go back and revisit that room.
It's like,
are you still in contact with the old family?
Maybe that room was built on top of like some like ancient Indian burial, like under like like maybe there's some special energy that happened.
It's ancient Ainu burial ground.
Anu?
That's what it is.
Burial ground?
No, Ainu.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's so weird. Like that was like I guess it would be the equivalent to like a guest room where if you had guests, like they would sleep there. But it was just this random tatami room. I still think about that room to this day. I wish I could go there and take pictures, but my family doesn't live there anymore, and my house was yellow.
That's cute.
Which is also something kind of weird.
That is really weird in Japan. Yeah.
It's like now that
yellow is pretty bright, and like that's not a very Japanese color. Or houses, I mean. And
I asked my parents, like, did you guys do the paint job after you guys bought the house? And they said no, it was just a yellow house, and everything else around it is not. Everything
everything, just your property's yellow. You guys had yellow chairs, yellow tables, everything, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's almost like a landmark, like for that area.
Yeah, you turn left at that one yellow house.
They always say that. Yeah, they always use like because you can see the house. It's a 2-story house. You can see it. It's like a pretty big house, and then they just be like, yeah, take a left. Like you see that yellow house peeking up over there. Like it was always. Now that I think of it, the house that I grew up in is peculiar. I wish we
it's
were
very Western.
A yellow house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like.
But it's not like, it's not one of those like suburban areas where there's like houses on the side.
Right.
It's a normal like jutakugai. It's a normal
like Japanese street, right?
And and one time, like this is ages later, like when I was in college, my friend was living at that station, and we got drunk one day, and we're like, you know what, I'm gonna go back there, and I'm gonna like live memory lane, man, let's go. He has no idea because I met him in college, so he doesn't know this house or anything because I grew up in that house and moved out when I was like 12. So we go to the house, right? I somehow remember the way from the station, super far from the station. And now it's just 2 white houses. Like 2 white, like smaller, thinner house
thing. Or like the little apartment complex kind of thing.
And so it's just like completely gone. My memories are just gone.
Aww, they took down the yellow house.
Yeah. They should keep the yellow house.
Yeah, that's too bad. And we went kind of off topic here.
Yeah, sorry.
But no, I thought this is the first time I'm hearing the story. That's interesting.
My yellow house story.
Because it's opposite from me. Because my bedroom was tatami, and our like family room was like the wooden floor room.
Oh,
so really? It was different. Yeah, because I grew up on sleeping in a futon, like a traditional Japanese like futon. Oh. I didn't have a normal 4-poster bed until I was like, I don't know, like 12 or something.
So you were living in America, living the Japanese life, and I was living in Japan, living the American life.
Yeah.
That's so weird. We're complete opposites.
No, but I mean the house was in Japan.
Oh,
I'm talking about my Japanese house that I grew up here before I moved to the US. Yeah. Because it was like it's a lot different than.
So you were just living in a traditional like.
Yeah, it was like a very normal Japanese house with like a. There's always that tatami room. Yeah, it's the one you visited. So you've walked around the tatami area. That's where I used to sleep.
That house, let me say, it's like straight out of Ghibli. Like it's one of those like like when you go out to the view that you have.
We live next to like a forest.
Yeah, it's like, and this doesn't mean that it's dirty or anything, but I could see like Makuro Kurosuke like in the corner.
I mean, it's a very old. Like, it's a very old house. It reminds me of
Totoro, the house in Totoro.
Yeah, it's a super old house. Cause like when I grew up, I didn't have the warm seat toilet. Mine didn't come with a bidet. It was like an old toilet.
Same.
So we actually ended up like replacing it by the time we moved, so we would get more for it.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, why didn't you guys get it before we moved? But no.
Yeah, I didn't have the warm seats.
I mean, I can go on and on about stories from my old house, but
same.
We can do that for a different day. Maybe we can have a little episode where we talk about our old houses. That might be fun. But other than Hitman, did we do anything else?
So we did the viewer send-in. You know what's weird is I used to live in a yellow house. Okay. All right. Besides that, we what else did we do? Did we play any?
Did we do 60 seconds this month?
I think 60 seconds is 60 seconds.
So that's another one we did.
Man, 60 seconds, man.
I don't know how to beat that game.
That game is
so hard.
Yeah.
But I do want to try and beat it.
I think some people got the game and beat it after we played
really?
it. Yeah. I think they were like, yeah, we tried it.
It's like, I'm tempted to maybe do it on my solo stream, or even like, your imp stream would be fine too. But like, I wonder if we can actually beat it.
I feel like we got close one time.
We did, yeah.
And then we're starting to see patterns, but it's kind of every single time we follow one pattern, they say no, and then they go with a different storyline, so we have to get something else. For people that have no idea what 60 seconds is, it's a game where you have...
It's a survival game. It's all text-based.
Text-based survival game where you have 60 seconds before the bomb drops, and you get everything in the house, including your family, and you bring them into the shelter, and then you try to survive, try to send them out, and try to bring stuff back, but everything is RNG. Every day something happens, but that event
And so basically,
is
like first 60 seconds,
random, and you try to wait for the military to come and
Rescue.
communicate with the military for them to come and save you.
Well, what we notice is like the first 60 seconds is the most important because that's like that's the only game, like, gameplay where you control a character. That's the only time it's like 3D where you control one, like you either control the dad or the mom, and you actually have to physically go pick up your kids, your other, your spouse, and then bring them to the shelter, and then go and pick up food and water and everything. And I think it's just all depends on what you pick up in those 60 seconds, and that really makes or breaks the run. And so the fact that we're doing split control is, we need more than 60 seconds. Because I think if you're playing it by yourself, you could probably pick up a lot.
We're just like bumping into shit all the time. I think even if it was us solo, we would be so bad at it because we would be just bumping into stuff. But the best run that we had was the one where Blue was like, forget the daughter. And then we just didn't get the daughter.
We didn't get the daughter.
And then that was like one of the best runs. Like,
because one of the things is like, everyone has, because of like, I guess their size or something, you have it's like 4 slots to pick up something. And so the bigger the item, the more slots it takes. So it's like bottle of water would be 1 slot, can of food would be a 2nd slot kind of thing. But for some reason, the daughter takes up 3 slots. That's too much space.
Yep.
That takes up too much space. And then, the dad takes up 4. Basically, it's better if you're the dad and you pick up the mom and son because they're 2 each.
Yeah, that's what you figured out. So that's what we
so
did.
It's like, sorry, daughter. If only you were 1 slot smaller.
It would be so much easier to pick it up. But that game's super fun. It's so like fun, because you don't know what's coming every day. You don't know what to keep, what you want to bring out on these expeditions. There's a chance that your family member might die during the expeditions,
or they might bring back an illness and then infect the rest of the family. And then
let me tell you, band-aids are or like the first aid kits it's
so
extremely rare in the game. So we got pretty close, like day 80 something, and I think that was like our best record. But
wasn't it like everyone died except for the mom, and we ran out of supplies, so we're like, we have to send her out. And then we
didn't know that if you do that, other people just take it over, or there's a chance that other people take it over.
So she died.
That was unfortunate. That was very, very unfortunate. We did 60 seconds. That was fun. We did that for like 2 streams, I think. That was before COVID, right?
2-3 streams, yeah.
And then we got COVID after that, and then it was kind of.
I think that was it. And then we did Hitman. Oh, we did Dark Souls a little bit. I think we beat Dancer before COVID.
Still doing the Dark Souls.
So we did beat Dancer. But we're on that Ocelot dragon.
The Ocelot dragon?
My dear Ocelot.
Oh yeah, baby dragon. Because we were trying to get that super rare site that we got.
Yeah.
We got it. So, powering it up. Hopefully, I love playing split control Dark Souls. So
we'll have to go back to it soon.
It's a nice mix.
Yeah.
It's a nice mix, and I think that's pretty much what we did this month. I guess we don't really like numbers wise and stuff like that. It like we didn't really have too much time to think about it, because it's kind of gonna be wonky ponky because of COVID. But man, like I'm just surprised people were waiting for us. They didn't leave.
Yeah, thank you for not leaving.
Thank you. You guys are still there.
It was nice to come back and then not like come back to like 50 people.
Yeah, it's a fear. And we were terrible at updating people because we were feeling like shit all the time. So it was just like, we're not very active on socials that much. So it was really nice to know that people were waiting. Nothing really changed. We're just kind of back to where we were, which is is great. It's amazing. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Speaking of you guys asked a good amount of questions for this month, it seems like, on the Discord, the Twitch subs. So let's get to that. There we go. Do you guys see yourself now? All right, here we go.
From here. The first question is from Mai. Thank you so much. Did Hi Guy teach Gray how to cut onions?
No. You're talking about like that
the VRL stream, right?
The VRL stream? No. He was very, very good. And I was very, very bad. So next time I cut onions, there's this little machine that I need to get that you just put it in and then you just go like this.
What is it called?
Bun bun choppa.
Yeah.
And then you just put it in and then you just spin it around and then it cuts it up really small for you.
Or we should do a cooking with Gray and Hi Guy.
That guy, his social posts, man, like he's cooking. He seems like a really good cook. He makes
curry and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can make
really
curry.
Good. Yeah.
I can do a curry off.
All right, next one is from Fuja. It says, have there been any games that you really wanted to enjoy or were looking forward to, but then ended up not enjoying as much as you expected?
Thinking. I mean, I tried the demo for Triangle Strategy.
Oh yeah.
And I really wanted to enjoy that game, but I'm not really good at strategy games. Like finding, like, I think Fire Emblem did it really well, but it was hard for me to get into Triangle Strategy.
It was a lot of story and not much gameplay.
Yeah, maybe it's better in the real game, but I don't know if I can drop the money to buy it after that demo, or pretty much any survival game. I'll try.
Yeah, like we'll try out a survival game, and then it's not your thing.
Yeah,
you just don't really like get into it.
I try. Or you do. It's fun for a bit, and then it gets very mundane. For me, like I'm just like, where's the dragon that we need to slay now?
Especially like you're not interested in like building for like the base and stuff. So I think it's hard when a lot of survival games is based on like building the fort, which that's the part I enjoy. But Gray likes exploring, right? A lot of times, like if we do play a survival game, it's like, okay, Gray, go get supplies. I'll just be here, kind of thing is what it ends up being. But yeah, you get bored of it pretty quickly.
It's just not my thing. There's some games that I got into, like when we played The Forest off stream, when we first were like, let's just find a game to play, and we did the building aspect of it plus the exploration. I thought that was like a really good match, which made us want to stream it in the first place.
Yeah.
But I think if it's too much of one of building and stuff, I get a little. But I try real hard to like it because it seems like such a cool time sink. And so it's a good way to kill time. But most of it, unless it's super simplified, it just doesn't. Like I just get kind of lazy about it.
Was there a game like that for me? I can't really think of one.
Game that you try to really like.
Was there one recently?
I don't think so. I think you've been playing everything you've been playing has.
Yeah, I don't think there was. I really can't think of one where I was like, oh no, this isn't not for me. That I can think of, because usually I just don't really try new games.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but like the last time I tried something like completely new, where it wasn't recommended by someone, was Frostpunk, and I got super into that. So, I can't really think of any.
If you do, just,
I'll mention it later if I do.
So thank you, Mai and Fuchun, for that question. Thank you. Let's go to Vaughn. Vaughn's tattoo questionnaire for those who wish to know. Number 1, at what age did you get your first tattoo? I got my first tattoo at the age of 18.
I got mine at 23.
Why did you start getting tattoos? What got you into it? I was always into just that culture, just mainly with music, and just seeing people with tattoos just was kind of like this cool thing. But I wanted to do something that meant something. My first tattoo is based on...
Which one is it?
It's my shoulder tattoo here. This is my first tattoo. This one. This one is a kind of an inside joke with a good friend of mine, and they were in the hospital at the time, and it was kind of like they were going through a pretty hardcore procedure, and I was it was just like my way of telling him that I'll always be there. Maybe I might not physically be there, but
you're okay, right?
Unfortunately, yes, and they annoy me all the time now. So, no, but no, they're fine now. But it was kind of like a way for me to try to be with them in a way, and that was my first tattoo.
My first one was these ones on my hands. For me, it's not. I don't really have anything that has any kind of like big meaning to. I mean, they have meaning, but I meant like. They don't depict anything. I get really abstract tattoos. I wanted ones that complement my anatomy more than anything, because I grew up with I had some OCD issues when I was growing up. And a lot of it had to do with my own body. I was very, very weirdly obsessed with balance, whatever that meant to me. Um, and also, I think I wanted to get these because they're job killers, right? Like, you don't want to get ones on your hands or your face, usually, because that limits a lot of jobs. And since I'm someone that tends to be very not into spontaneous things, or I don't really like taking chances, I like to take very what's the word? Safe routes. So it was kind of a promise to myself that I wouldn't run away from a creative job because that's what I wanted to do. And I just didn't want myself to convince myself, like, oh no, this isn't working out, so I'm going to go do something else. So it was basically just a promise to myself.
Thanks, Twitch, for giving
Thanks,
us that up for that opportunity. Thank you. Which tattoo is your favorite of yourself and each other?
Mine are probably my hands. Yeah.
Your first tattoos?
Yeah. Because they do mean a lot to me. Like, there's a reason why the design, like, I don't know if anyone's really noticed because it's kind of hard to tell, but they're not replicas. Like, they're not exactly the same. Like, these two are different. Side. Yeah, like my left hand and right hand is not the same. Mm-hmm. They look similar, but like the lines here are not here. They're actually up here. Or like I made it a little asymmetrical on purpose for my own like personal reasons. But it's just like I put a lot of thought into this one. I remember going through so many rough drafts of what I wanted, and it took me weeks and weeks just to get this done, and so like unique. Really happy with it. I didn't even use like a ballpoint pen to write it on my skin first to see if I really liked it.
How about the color? Did it take time for you to decide the color?
No. I sat my tattoo artist down. It's like, I want a bluish gray color. Do you have something like that? And he's like, no, I'll make something for you.
And so, perfect thing.
No, yeah, that color is reserved for me. It's like he gave it my name. So he has a bottle of this color.
It says Blluist on it? God, it has blue. Damn.
Yeah, it says blue's color on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So he has a recipe down and everything.
That
that
special color for you?
Yeah. That's why all my tattoos are the same color. This one too.
Yeah.
They're like I know people think it's like a faded black, but it's actually blue. Like when you get it done, it's this color. So, yeah.
For me, I would say my favorite tattoo is probably a portrait of my dog I have right here. Because this is the only tattoo that's not in the same style as all my other tattoos. All my other tattoos are basically what it's called the American traditional style, with the thick lines and stuff like that, and the hula girls and the skulls and stuff like that. But this one's just a straight up portrait, and I was so nervous because I think I've seen everyone here too, if they've ever looked up tattoos, we've seen some horrible portraits online, and I couldn't think. I wanted to get a tattoo of my dog, my first dog, but I couldn't think of anything creative to represent him enough. Where like, yeah, you can do the paw, you can do the
nose,
or you can do like their what is it?
Collar?
Their collar, or I had a lot of ideas, but I was like, dude, full on portrait. That's the best way to represent my dog. And so, because he was a beautiful dog. So then I got a picture of me and my grandpa, and I brought that picture, and I was like, do you think you can do a portrait of this? And then my artist was like, you're gonna do a portrait? Like, that's so not you. And I was like, yeah, but do you think you can do it? And then so the portrait itself is not in that style, but the peripheral, it's in a frame. It's in like it's kind of surrounded by this like frame kind of thing.
Yeah, so it works.
So this part is very American tradition, like the banner. And then we have this part is also kind of the thick lines right here. It's not 100%, but it's pretty in style with the portrait, and the portrait is fantastic.
Yeah, she did so well.
It's just so, it was so painful, but this is my most painful tattoo.
Yeah.
But it's probably my favorite. And for Blue, my favorite tattoo that Blue has is she has a line going down from her neck all the way down. I think that is You can just probably see that. Yeah, you can see it right there. It goes all the way down
to
her
my
back,
butt.
and it's just it was so peculiar to me. It was so like nothing I would ever get, and it so I was just like that one always sticks to me, that you have a line down your back. Like it every single time I look at that, I'm like, pretty sure you're not human. Like it's all, you have all these android looking tattoos, but that one especially is like something that if there was a sign, right? Like people get ready. This is like, but it could be like the barcode, you know, like this is the sign that this person's an android. It would be a line down the back.
How do you know I don't have a barcode on the back of my head? You've never seen it. You've never seen the back of my head without hair.
Let's drop this conversation.
And my favorite of yours is the one on your thigh, the ship.
Oh, the ship tattoo? Yeah. This one?
I think it looks so cool. Yeah, I love that tattoo. It's really cool.
It's actually, the thing about this one is that I was supposed to have, I have one on each thigh, and then the bottom says, and yet to find, right? And then the right side was supposed to say something, and I was supposed to go back and get that banner. I haven't, and I forgot what I wanted on this side, but it's kind of cool and still makes sense to the message that, you know, the thing that I wanted. And it looks kind of, it's just better now that it's just, and yet to find. Like that's
yeah, I thought that was complete.
No, the right side was supposed to have the top banner saying something, and then this one was supposed to complete the sentence.
Oh.
And I had it in my head, but then I was like, so I'm gonna come back, and then I was like, fuck it, I want this hula girl on my arm, and you know, and so we went with a different idea.
Yeah.
So, and they're like, well, we can just do the banner some other time, and then I was,
you never got it though.
I never got it. So, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it now that it's just that. It's kind of.
Yeah, I don't think you need to add anything.
The left side's done. The right side is the one that has the banner, but the left side is just like, I don't need to touch it anymore. So I kind of like it how it is. Which what are your future tattoo plans? So I want to get a Hunter x Hunter tattoo. That was something that was planned a while back, because we usually give like Christmas gifts. We don't want to think about what to get each other.
Yeah, so we just get tattoos.
We get tattoos for each other every year. And that was the JoJo tattoo that
you always mess up the sides.
The JoJo tattoo that I got. Blue has one on her arm too. The words right there. And we were like, we should have a theme. So we're gonna do for me, I'm gonna do like anime themed and stuff like that. And then Blue broke that rule because she's.
I'm sorry, I can't think of all the anime that I want on my body. But mine's video game themed, so it works, right?
Well, it's not. Well, I guess it's from
it's from Cyberpunk 77. So I'm getting Android hats.
Yeah, like all over your body.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's really cool. But I'm gonna get a Hunter x Hunter tattoo.
Yeah. Speaking of, I need to schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need a design. I don't have the actual like final design yet. Do you have any tattoo related regrets? No, I love my tattoos.
I do too.
I don't think
I don't regret a single one of them.
I've been very fortunate enough that it's never come up in a. I mean, yeah, you get dirty looks, or people say like, I've had moments where the mom would like pull their kid away if I'm wearing like a tank top or something.
Yeah.
But that's just something that we knew. Oh wait, yes, I do. I do have a tattoo related regret. Can't go to water parks anymore. We were just talking about this. Like, we can't go to hot springs, and we also can't go to water parks. And I used to love going to water parks in the summer. And yeah, with COVID,
I mean, I regret
no
hot
shot
springs,
in hell we would go. But
water parks,
man, water parks,
hot springs.
I mean, yeah, hot springs too. But that's just something that we all know, right? You get a tattoo, and the first thing that you have is hot springs. So you go, okay, I'm gonna get over it. But you don't get over water parks because you don't really think about it. And it just hits you one day that, oh, I used to go to water parks in the summer, and I'm never going to be able to do that unless I wear like a full body suit.
You're that guy. Yeah.
Full body suit. It's like, oh, come on, man. Like, you're not fooling anybody, okay? like, you know those guys sometimes that like have the arm guard on? And
yeah. Yeah,
and you're like, you're not fooling
anyone.
Anybody.
We know you have a tattoo under there.
Like, it's okay. Like, it's it's gonna be like that. It's just like or it's just like that try hard guy that brings like the boogie board to those places with for the wave pools that they have. They have like sometimes they used to. I don't know if they have it at the water park now, but there used to be a time at these water parks where people would like bring like I don't think they would bring out full on surfboards, but they have the wave pools where it's not the wavy pool that goes around, but it makes waves pretty much, and like people would bring like boogie boards and stuff, and people would ride, and like kids wouldn't be able to be there. They can't go there at that time. It's like very try hard. Like I don't want to seem like those guys. But so I could technically go. Like if I had a kid and we want to go to a water park, I would do it. But would I go just for my recreational thing with like a full bodysuit? That'd be really weird.
I do have a tattoo like location regret. Like I don't regret getting the tattoo, but the location was like, maybe I should have thought a bit better.
But
because like this one that I got with my brother, like my brother wanted it somewhere where it would 100% be hidden if he was wearing a shirt, and it was his first tattoo. So then he's like, I'll just get it on my chest somewhere. So I was like, okay, I'll just get it where you're gonna get it. But I just realized as a girl, every time I wear a tank top or anything, his name's like right there. Well, which isn't a bad thing, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but it was for him, right?
Yeah.
He wanted to hide it, but it's not for you.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was like, now I just have this like just showcase of my brother's name, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Which is like the sweetest thing. Yeah.
I just thought like maybe it would have been better if it was somewhere else. Like here or like just on my arm or something, so it wasn't like so front and center. Especially since I don't have anything else here yet, which I do end up wanting to get, so it's probably not going to be as obvious as now.
I have an idea.
But what?
Get that tattoo that you just mentioned, right? Like, because you said you want it in a different location. Get it on that location. The one that you have here, cross it out, put gray.
No. All right, thanks, Vaughn. Yuzu, you guys read any books recently? Novel or manga, or maybe the latest book you read? I've only been reading Spy Family recently.
It was for novel, manga ne?
Yeah, not really too many books recently. Yeah.
I thought we went to go buy books the other day.
Yeah, we got Hunter x Hunter and Spy Family.
Was that
That's
it?
the last time. That was like months ago.
God, we do not leave the house. Yeah.
We did not leave the house. How did we get COVID?
I remember getting more manga. I forgot that was actually. Is that more Spy Family that we got? Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
So I guess not. I guess just we're caught up on. I mean, okay. Here, actually, there is one that I did read. Was
porn.
The last two books of Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because
right, yeah,
I was infuriated that it didn't end. Like it was, as everybody is talking about how like there's another season, it's just never gonna end. I was like, dude, how many is there left? And I looked up and there's 2 books, and I was like, I just bought it online and just e-booked it, and I read it.
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah, so we know how it ends, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Like that's just something that is.
We'll still probably watch it.
We'll watch it 100%. How they, I'm interested to see what they do, but we just had to read it. Right. Mm-hmm. And I'm probably gonna have to reread Hunter x Hunter again now that it's coming back. I have to refresh my memory because holy crap, it's convoluted, the new stuff. So I'm gonna have to reread the last 4 books, I think, just the 3 or 4 books, just to kind of get myself back to speed. Thank you, Yuzu. I'm probably the only one asking it, but please can we get more gray cooking vids? Oh, like the stuff that I put up on like the vlogs and stuff like that?
Oh,
sure,
yeah,
man.
Yeah. You should.
Sure. I'll have a video right now.
What? You haven't taken one yet.
I think I'll just put in. I think I'll put in a clip of me cooking something. What do you think?
No, don't they want like an actual video with the recipe and everything?
Oh, I was gonna do this really cool thing where I cut to me cooking, but okay.
No, like an actual just a video, like a vlog of you cooking again.
Oh, okay. I can
Not
do.
just a clip.
I can do that too. I can do that too. Okay, that was awkward.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you cut a little bit of that
No, I'm
silence?
not gonna cut any of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's Vaughn's fault.
How's that Vaughn's fault? Thank you, Sky. Next one is from Joran. How are you two doing? Staying well rested. We are. Thank you.
Trying to get that
We're
energy
feeling
back.
a lot better for sure.
Yeah, trying to get that energy back. Just trying to get back on the grind, you know. Not 100% on the energy yet. Still lingering. But health-wise, I feel great. So hot and humid.
Next one is from Panda. Will you guys be my guide on the super strict Japanese tours they want to do?
What does that mean?
What? Like how they're letting in like 50 people and you have to be part of a tour guide or whatever?
Oh, you have to be part of a tour guide? Okay, we'll do a tour of what let's change the question a little bit. What would if we were tour guides? Where would you take people? Not like okay.
What? No.
And then what?
All the clothing stores there. They have a lot of cool like used clothing stores.
Like thrift stores and stuff like that?
Yeah. They can see all the boba stores too.
Shisha. They have a lot of shisha too.
They do, yeah.
I would take you guys to places where we can drink. And
of course.
If you don't drink, not everybody drinks. Not everybody drinks. I can take you guys to cool hobby stores, you know, like because if you go to Akihabara, I feel like you can explore that yourself. Maybe like Nakano or something like that.
Nakano would be fun.
That would be and maybe
I'll take you to Asakusa.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I can take you guys to my hometown.
Yeah, because they all want to go there.
It's a fun place. You can hang. Oh, I'll go which way? Wait. I'll take you guys to karaoke.
That's not a tour, Gray.
No, it's a Japan experience.
Yeah, but that's not a tour of anything.
It's a tour of something. It's a nightlife tour.
Okay.
I don't go to clubs. We go karaoke.
Right? If you could tell your younger self or just started streaming versions of you, any advice, what would it be?
Tech related and stream path related. That's a good question.
Tech related would be get another PC. Just start off with 2 PCs. No, actually,
when we just started,
probably was to invest in 2 good mics.
I mean, our mics were fine.
No, we were using the Yeti for a while.
Oh yeah, we were.
Yeah,
drop that Yeti.
Drop the Yeti and use 2 different mics.
Yeti's not a bad mic, but it's just
not for the setup that we were going for.
For 2 people, it just like it was bleed heaven.
Yeah.
The clips are just horrible. Like it just sounds really bad.
Yeah.
Because every single time I scream, it would just echo. We tried so many different settings, but it just didn't. One thing I would say is tech related. There's got to be something. Because I know Panda's a creative person too, so they do videos and stuff like that too. So tech related. I mean, this is something that I would reassure them is that the C920 webcam is fine. Don't before any upgrade in video, upgrade your sound, which is what we did. But so that was fine. So just it's not wrong. We still use the C920. It's fine. Audio is a lot more important than video.
I think stream path too. It was just things that we were gonna have to learn.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really have anything that'd be like, oh, you should have done this. I think it's something we would have had to learn anyway.
Dude, I would give him a high five. Be like, fuck yeah, man. Like, good job. Because what we did is what we do now is a little bit different than our mindset right now is pretty different to what it used to be. And and I think it's just we evolve and we change needs to happen. But I think we did
okay.
I think we had to learn those lessons. Plus, they weren't wrong. We didn't do anything wrong.
We didn't do anything wrong. So
And it was. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of 2018 Blue and Gray for believing in that when there was really no results, and a lot of times it was more negative than positive for us, experience wise, where we might do something and it might not feed back the way we wanted it to, but we kept going at it. We just kept going at it, and we're still going at it. It's a still like present thing. So I want to give them a high five.
Yeah.
And all the mistakes that we made, good. Keep making them. Is what I want to say.
Mistakes are not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Without them, we wouldn't be where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Good question, man. Not sure if this has been asked before, but what are your biggest hot takes? Unpopular opinion. I have one. That I've been talking about.
What?
Okay, ready? I don't know if it's a hot take for people that matter.
Mm-hmm. Matter?
Got. This is about music. This is about music.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, right? Like early 2000s to 2005, a lot of bands came up, right? And they started using the word emo. And it was just this emo. It's this emo thing, right? I'm going to word this really carefully. Okay? Ready? Because I know people get real butthurt about this.
Mm-hmm.
My Chemical Romance is not the poster child of emo. It was not the poster child of emo around me, because it might be for other people, but I'm just saying around it feels really weird that whenever the word emo or EM comes out and they're about to say emo, it's like My Chemical Romance. Like it's always My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
It's like that and only that.
Yeah.
And it's like, not really. No, it wasn't like that for me growing up. Like it was a very different experience. Yes, they had the goth look. Yeah, they had the goth look. It's very easy to identify them as emo. Their music, Three Cheers for Revenge, was it? That record, fantastic. I loved it. Great pop punk record. Came out around the time when they were all those like Taking Back Sunday and the drive-through bands were coming out. Fantastic, right? But like the person that everybody was like, oh my god, emo was like around me. Yeah, it was Pete Wentz from
it was for my group
Fall Out
too.
Boy.
Yeah,
like he was the eyeliner dude with the super and the fashion,
super tight pants.
Yeah, was the super tight shirt, maybe even flared pants, and then you have like the studded belt, and it was like that was what. Emo means a lot of things. It can mean anything for anything, but like it just seems like there's this universal definition on Twitter and on Twitch that it's like emo equals My Chemical Romance. And I'm like, it's not a hot take because I think it was for a lot of people. So I'm not saying that it's not, but it's very weird to me because they were never the poster child of emo.
They weren't emo for my friend group. They weren't really considered emo. They were more goth than anything else.
Aesthetically,
I didn't think they were that aesthetically 100% emo poster child. Like, oh, emo equals my chem equals emo kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
it's really like, so it's a hot take in the sense that I'm not saying, oh, they're not emo. I'm saying I feel very weird when that word, I'm like, yes, the emo revival. There's definitely an emo revival. My Chemical Romance is a pop punk band, right? Like their music is extremely pop punk. Like that's like, and then their aesthetic is very gothy emo. I get it, but there were a lot of other bands that were like Fall Out Boy was huge at the time, and it's just weird that maybe it's because they don't do that stuff now.
And they're very pop now.
And then My Chemical Romance stopped at that, and then now they're back with that. So it kind of is that vibe, and it's really easy to get behind that because of their visual aesthetics.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it's really weird to me that every single time someone says emo, it's just the one band is My Chemical Romance. Yeah. Again, love their stuff. I do like the music. I'm not saying they're a bad band in any way. It's just Like what a it's like it seems like everybody that it's on the internet is just one specific type of person. That's like one specific group that I didn't hang out with in high school, and we were listening to like the same genre. So that's the thing that I always think
That's
about.
your hot take.
Yeah, now everyone's gonna think I hate My Chemical Romance, but that's not what I mean. It's just I just feel like a little bit like off balance when I hear that, and it's just like the headline now is just like My Chemical Romance, boom, Fall Out Boy, boom, and it's just like it. I mean, I guess they don't play the same kind of music, but it wasn't even Fall Out Boy either. Like it could be a plethora of bands, is what I'm saying, but it was never just. It was even the singer of All American Rejects. Like that guy was like, or like Panic at the Disco, like all those like at the time Decadence I think was the record label, like stuff like that. Was kind of, like was popping off. It was just like My Chemical Romance was just like one of those bands, and now it's just like, I mean, I guess they did it really well. It's really easy to get behind, but yeah, I feel a little bit of a. It feels a little bit off to me. How about you, Blue?
Mine is just because it's popular doesn't mean it's good. In the term of fashion.
Oh yeah.
One thing that really bugs me is
hot fashion hot take.
The one thing that really bugs me is like, especially Japan, right? Because everyone dresses the same here. That's something that I don't like about Japan is majority of people dress the same. Like I don't know if they visit the same website or whatever, or
read
they
the
look
same
at
magazine.
like read the same magazine. I don't know what it is, but they all dress exactly the same.
Yeah.
And so it's always this trend. It's like, oh, and you know what the trend is. As soon as you see one girl wearing it, it's like, oh, that's the trend this summer. And right now, what's trendy is really big, oversized dresses or shirts that hide everything. And I think it looks so bad. It looks garbage.
Anu agrees.
No, it's trash. It's garbage. It's for some reason it comes back too.
It's trash.
No, it comes back I feel like every like 1 or 2 years, that whole like, oh, this big ass dresses with no shape whatsoever comes back into fashion here, and I hate it. I wish they could burn it. Like I would buy all of them and burn all the dresses because they're so unflattering.
Oh god.
No, it makes girls look bigger. They make them look like they're super short.
Are they trying
they
to
look
hide it?
I don't know.
Something like
no, I think they're trying to go for like, oh, I don't know, countryside, like, Little Woman kind of aesthetic. I think, Little Woman as like the
Little Woman, walking down the street.
No.
Little what's a like a small person?
Do I even have the title right?
Julia
no,
Roberts.
I'm actually like
Julia Roberts.
No. Now I'm trying to see if it's even right. Yeah. Okay. It's like, it's a book.
Oh.
It's a book about like a bunch of sisters that live together.
Okay.
It's like a classical book, like like Pride and Prejudice that you wouldn't know about because you hate those. But it's like it's set in like it's a little bit like not super historical, but it is set in a day where like women used to wear dresses and corsets and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like the frills and a lot of like the floral pattern with the big like teeth dresses. Mm-hmm. You have no idea what I'm talking about, but that's fine.
Talk to them. So I'm guessing,
not me. So I'm guessing that's what they're trying to go for. Is they're trying to go for like that feminine, like prairie, like country girl kind of thing, countryside girl. I don't mean country girl as in like Western, like cowboy, like not that kind of way, but like they live in, like with vast fields, like, Anne of Green Gables kind of thing. And I think that's what they're going for, but it doesn't work. It looks terrible. I hate it.
There you go.
And it's trash.
So she hates.
So I don't like these trends. Like trendy, like just because it's popular doesn't mean it looks good. So stop wearing it. Just because some garbage ass magazine tells you to wear some big ass dress doesn't mean you should wear it. Like,
there's a really famous quote about stuff like that.
What?
It was a singer of this band called Blue Hearts, and he said, if the most popular thing was the best thing, that would mean that the best ramen is Nissin cup noodle.
That is true. Yeah.
Like if the most selling thing
It would be cup noodles.
if the most selling thing was the best thing, then Nissin cup noodle would be objectively the best ramen ever on this planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my take. It's just I just don't like how people just blindly follow trends sometimes. Like I get it, like some people just don't know what to wear and they're trying out different things, but like I don't know.
You really have, that was an actual hot take. Mine was like me trying to like make sure that I don't make any enemies, and I'm just like treading water. Like, My Chemical Romance.
No, because then people are like, "Oh yeah, I love Japanese." No, because then people are like, "Oh, I love Japanese fashion," and it's like, "No, you don't. It fucking sucks."
Okay. Damn. All right. Really doesn't. So you don't like Little Women? I get it.
No. You didn't listen to anything I was saying, but that's fine.
All right, you got it fired up, man. Yeah, fired up.
All right. Thank you, Kago.
Panda.
Next one is from Panda. It says, if you had one ticket to make a sequel or a new season or new game from any franchise, what would it be?
Let's go, Sekiro 2. Let's go.
Can you say a different game, please? Because that's the one I was gonna say.
A new game. One, and I think that's pretty obvious. The obvious answer. So, make a sequel or a new game.
I mean, I could have said Death Stranding, but Death Stranding 2's coming out, so let's go.
I would have said new season of Hunter x Hunter, but that's coming too, so let's go. What would it be? Something that I really think. I mean, okay. I want to see a Chrono Trigger remake. I want to see a Chrono Trigger remake. Final Fantasy IX remake seemed like it's in the works, but I do want to play Chrono Trigger remake or Chrono Trigger remake in the art style of Octopath Traveler. So it's still in that pixelated thing, but like the just kind of that beautiful kind of art style.
I gotta think. What would I want? I mean, it doesn't have to be a whole new game, but I would like a DLC where I play as I played the extended ending of Shepard.
Whoa! Spoilers! Whoa!
Can I have that?
Fuck. Should we beep that?
Should I beep that?
I think we should beep that in the
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
sorry.
We should just we'll just add a little beep right there, and people that know will know, and then
I'll just mute myself there.
Yeah. Or just beep. Yeah.
Beep.
There
That'd
you go.
be great.
Getting and I think that's it. I think those are the questions, right? That was the last question. So, for the month, Final Fantasy 14-2.
Or Mass Effect 32. Oh, well, you got me there.
Final Fantasy 14-2 it keeps coming out. It keeps coming now. Yeah. Right now, it's what, Final Fantasy 14-6 or something at this point, or like 5 or 6. It just keeps getting better, man. So thank you guys so much for the questions for the month. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We will be back for June. We got some stuff that we just announced yesterday. This is being taken on. Let's see, what is it today? On
May 29th.
May 29th, we announced something pretty big community event for June. Everyone's getting started up on that. We'll let you guys know at the end of the next podcast how that went.
Yeah.
Because it's at the end of the month, but
we'll keep you guys updated.
Yep, I think it's pretty good. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys in the June edition of Stream On, Streaming On. Take care.
See ya.